Shit. Okay. This is it. Indispensable tradition and function. Tokyo, Japan. My favorite part about this. The tags, the keychains. Let's see if we can get that in there. For indispensable, they shorten it to IDP. IDP. Look up what those letters mean. Because internally displaced persons are indispensable. Okay, so I'm gonna twist this, and we will. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's raining like fucking madness out there. It looked like rice, but I think it was quinoa. It's still delicious. It's the double yellow line. Hold here for a second.
Emergency. We dealing with this system design to confuse niggas' minds, and it's worse when the people divide. Fighting titans, ruling the earth's timers, evil alliance, trying to blind us and changing. I guess you know. Real hip hop shit. I guess you know. Symphony. You check up to the yeah. I guess you know. I'm at that drug lab trying to figure out my next move. I gotta make this raw street hot breakthrough. This criminology rap to slash fake crews. I get sanity that make front page news. I'm the head trauma that makes your Scarface bruise. MCs nowadays lose with bars they use. There's a war between heaven and hell. Which do you choose? No matter what side, you gotta pay dues. My central intelligence was birthed in my residence of downtown tenements with criminal elements, man. I live my life while the wicked try ending it. My brain's more fucked up than choice with a stem in it. The weak shit I'm dead in it, all for the cause. All be crucifying your lies, live on the Jesus cross. We hold our own court with truth is the judge. I got hollow jurors that give out guilty verdicts. These words that I live by, one day I might die by. Make my mom cry. When this shit get worse for me, the CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency. These words that I live by, one day I might die by. Make my mom cry. When this shit get worse for me, the CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency. To make the world panic more than gang faggots lead masses go.
So we have the Chicago city government's trying to order the police that they must take a vaccine. I don't know if you notice, you're not thinking straight. If you don't think about this for a second. Where's got the worst violence? It's basically right now Chicago. And what are the cops doing about it? Apparently, sweet fuck all. Why? Say it. You're gonna say corrupt, or is it corrupt? Anyway, somebody who's got the gall to do whatever the fuck they want isn't going to listen to you saying, you have to take this injection inside you because I said it's okay. I'm half retarded, but I'm telling you, really, if I break your nose, you're not putting no needle in my arm. I don't think you understand what's going on here. Chicago police getting picked up by, what is it, Indiana, I think? I better look that up, make sure I got that right. Look at it, camo green. Tell me that's not for us. Tell me that's not for us. What else been going on? We have, if you dare to question a white person who claims that they are now indigenous, you are on a witch hunt. You, as an Indian status person, are on a witch hunt against white people. Remember what a witch is. Remember the term to bear a faggot. All the times I've been banned off Facebook for saying faggot. To bear a faggot means to be burned at the stake as a witch. Has nothing to do with being gay. Nothing. It's kind of like your new gay pride flag is a South African flag that you've tried to repaint. Don't do that shit. I'll burn them things if I can. If I can. What else we got going on up here? All sorts of tomfoolery and lunacy. I'm gonna get this into me.
We on singing fuck religion. Meditate with the Buddhists, I'm ramming horns with the Jewish. I'm talking saddle with Moses. Speak Gnostic when I walk through Jerusalem. Cleanse you, come and swell, I drill a code of suit. We've been through the stars, seen the birds name Jesus. We say clues, right, true things to wake the youth. Before they raise their talent, end up locked in the chute. Come on, I'm culminating when I'm in the meridian. Illumination, fuck being an idiot. A master mason when I'm building my pyramid. Medicine man, blowing up the schools of American. I let you go tell a friend. The church.
It's blowing my mind now. The property manager and the jurist, the whatever they call them for the eviction hearing, both use the exact same term with me. I don't know what you are. Who was asking them to decide what I was? So when you say, oh, I don't know what you are, you're saying you know I'm not white. So you're calling me a half-breed right to my face. And they both did. I just love poking holes in your logic. I just love poking holes in your logic. That's a black man, that's a white man, that's a Chinese man, and you, I don't know what you are. They always blow out through their nose when they're doing that.
Nation to leave my family, water crossed up, we kill a minute man. I'm living paranoid, I think it's the end. July 10th, the earth wept when I took my first breath that I lived by. One day I might die by, make my mom cry. Will this shit get worse for me? The CIA murdered me for talking in third degree in state of emergency. These words that I live by. One day I might die by, make my mom cry. Will this shit get worse for me? The CIA. I guess it don't. I got a Rello with the thicker than a roster thread. Got me feeling nicer than over neighbor Ned. I got that bomb cut straight from Hiroshima. Orange Kush on that bitch with Hanifa. President Obama got me smoking presidential. And on my weed mans that they carry big credentials. Smoking on some banging grip straight from South Central. I throw the hit this and the hit turn into potential. How you learning? While I'm burning, presidential Bill Clinton, and she slurping, steak in the air, like a landfill. This kush sliding in like a plain air. I smelled it through the jar. I was so off. Got it at the doctor's with the weed card. Experimental when it comes to the medical. Commander-in-chief smoking presidential. Feeling like the president, never state you never been. Cursed out with Washington and Lincoln, Jefferson, Jackson, and Benjamin. We all cursed out on Montel medicine. I'm smoking on the type of weed to win awards. Presidential suite on the 420th floor. My weed man through the Pineapple Express. Obama got me lifted, military crest. Passenger 420 on Air Force One. Smoking so much kush like I got 4 lungs. THC releasing dopamine to high levels. Got me laughing at everything like I'm Will Ferrell. Lighting up everywhere like it's legal. Lighting up like it's crystal.
So I hope this don't disappoint. But my main reason for running this video, I don't talk to none of these fucking idiots on the phone unless I'm recording the call anymore. And my whole neighborhood's flooding with sewage water.
To 311 Toronto. For quality coaching purposes, all of our calls are recorded. If this is a fire, police, or medical emergency, please hang up and call 911. Your personal information may be required by our divisional partners and representatives working on their behalf to proceed with this request. Your information is collected under the City of Toronto Act 2006 and Bylaw 878-2004. 311 Toronto is committed to providing the best service possible to all customers. We remind callers that aggressive behavior, harassment, or coarse language will not be tolerated and may lead to ending the call interaction, if necessary. Please listen carefully to the following options as our menu options have changed. For property tax and utility bills, press 1. For noise, press 2. For water, press 3. For all other inquiries, press 9 or hold for the next available customer service representative. To repeat these options, please press star. Thank you for calling 311 Toronto. We are currently experiencing an extremely high volume of calls, and we ask that you call us at a later time. Our customer service representatives are here to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You may also contact us via email at 311@toronto.ca or visit our website at www.toronto.ca/311. Thank you. All of our customer service representatives are currently assisting other callers. Please hold and we will answer your call as quickly as...
It don't sound like it. It don't sound like it. Here's the deal. It's raining like crazy out here and everything's flooding. So most of the things I was going to tell them about, somebody else is probably telling them. Except for the vaccines with no soap and water and the coyote.
Smoking over rock while drinking on some rock. Got me fucked up like I could whoop
Midweek, as our temperatures drop below 60 overnight, we could see some. And it's slow going, and then again on the northbound DPP.
I got nothing for you. Damn it.
fully on my hip. Dang, son, I gotta reload it like a gun. Time them just for fun. They wanna see me with my hands out begging for funds. They ain't gonna see that shit cause I really make runs. They saying that they gotta get the job done. And when my crew come, they ain't gonna say no more in the slum. They gonna be deceased from head to toe. They ain't gonna breathe no more. Ain't gonna see no tree. Ain't no more paradise down here. It's only hell or up. You won't get a chance no more down here. I ain't showing no fear. I gotta ride for my other side, and they gotta ride for me, cause they gotta say that they'll die for me. They gotta shine for me. If I shine on my own, then fuck, they won't lie for me. They won't lie for me. They won't die for me. I'm in this, but haters ain't gonna shine with me. They ain't shining with me because I put them all in the past. I told all these haters cut them off and all to kiss my ass. Haters don't love it, I ball just like Nash, saying that they want a ball, throwing bins in the trash. I'ma hit it up like fuck it, haters. I gotta see it later, like fucking adding up my stacks with the calculator, saying that they wanna brave something just like braver. I'ma be braver than you, probably be the first heartbreaker. I never broken hearts before, but I just might take it. Shit, boy, I gotta remix this shit like a bitch.
I'll recap. Let's see. I saw a coyote, not a huge deal. If people would treat like wildlife with respect, they won't. So you got to tell the city so the city can put up signs. It's not a dog. You can't feed it. It will kill you, your kids, or give you rabies unless you leave it alone. Let's see. There's the backed up storm drains. It's not too unusual. So 2 years ago, the city gave a contract for $339,000 to a company that does not have street sweepers to do the street sweeping. And over the last 2 years, they just don't do the street sweeping out here. So what happens? Garbage everywhere? No, that's not the worst problem. They will send out crews, like a guy every so often to sweep shit up, like around a park or around a garbage can or whatever, where shit builds up. Problem is all this shit gets in the storm drains. Storm drains back up. They're mixed overflow. They're not totally separate. The toilet water and the rainwater are supposed to be separate, but if either one overflows, it flows into the other, and once you mix black water with gray water or white water, it's all black water. And what's the problem with that? There's a fucking fuel plant literally right next door to here where they make nuclear fuel pellets. They bake them like a ceramic. They release 18 grams of uranium dioxide per year out of their stack. They only just, from 1953 till now, they only just put a windsock up like 2 months ago. They got a windsock because I make videos about things, but I don't always report them to the authorities. And I've made videos about the fact that I've watched the uranium coming out of the stack and sucked back into their own ventilators. I've watched that. I thought it was hilariously ironic. They must have gone through about 2 years back worth of videos to find that. So they also have a license to dump up to 9,000 kilograms, 9 metric tons of uranium down the drain if they want to, the sanitary sewer, which is mixed with the storm sewer. And if those back up, you got uranium in the street. People could be walking through, flood vehicles, all that shit. Or it could back up into somebody's basement. All sorts of crazy shit could happen. You could end up breeding some type of mold that's like super powered or some shit. What else is going on? I'm watching people give vaccines. It's I don't know what their airborne limit is. They admit to releasing 18 grams per year, so 1.5 grams if you average, because all you can do is average. It's not going to be the same every day, but it would average to 1.5 grams a month, which would be 0.05 grams a day if they were doing it 24/7 equally all the time. But they're authorized to dump 9 metric tons into the fucking sewer, which is I don't know. I guess it's a good thing they have a plan. I don't like their plan, but in theory, the storm drain will run straight, the sanitary drain will run straight south to the lake if it has to. It's not the best plan, but for 1953 or whatever, it's not that bad. Fuck, what else was there? So the coyote it was not a dog, it's not a cat, it's not a raccoon, it's not mixed with wolf. It is very thin, and it was by itself. So I don't remember the psychology of coyotes, if they hunt in packs or only when they're hungry or what the fuck the deal is. But this thing was skinny. It looked very skinny compared to the size of its tail, and it was just jogging along the rail line straight downtown. That's right. Coyotes should be going downtown. Instinctively, they should be heading away from them. What's downtown for them? Nothing. There's no wildlife or nothing down there. If he can go for the next 10 kilometers straight, he might end up at the Don Valley, but fuck, what else was there? You know what? Let's try and hit the news.
I like to say the EV400 is everything you love about the EV600, just in a smaller package. So that is very common with the EV600 program. The sizing is a bit smaller on the back end. The wheelbase is shortened. And one of the
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
It allows you to park in a standard parking space, whereas the EV600 probably requires a little bit more.
Is it a car? Is it a bicycle? What is it?
Although electric commercial vans can green the fleet, they can also help save on operational costs.
In addition to the carbon neutrality that switching over to EV offers, there's 2 big factors I'd like to mention. This is a purpose-built vehicle where we designed it from the ground up to fit in the space. But secondly, financially,
and I found a dentist. You think that'd be on the top of my mind?
Per year as they switch from an ICE vehicle over to an EV.
That's Tushar Parval with GM's Right Drop, and at the business center.
Remember, they're putting millions. What is it? $10 million or so?
What does it feel like to play Lotto 649? Well,
so over the course of the last year, I'll save you the trouble of going back through all the videos. They were telling us that GM's investing in what was it? Was it a battery plant? There's a company building a battery plant. GM's investing in the what is it, light vans or whatever, commercial electric commercial vans. There's all shit they're expecting to bring here. Hey, by the way, you can't buy a car right now because there's no microchips to you put the key in and turn it, nothing happens because there's no fucking computer in the car. But they're gonna make a whole fleet of all electric vehicles. Some tells me there's a lot of computer chips in an electric vehicle.
We think the answer is pretty obvious, especially since right now you can get the new 2022 CRV LS from just $83 weekly at 3.99.
You heard that. They're running the commercial right over where you're expecting the news to come up.
$1,995 down. Taxes extra. See HondaOntario.com.
City News Time, 6:30.
By the way, it's NOLA. They changed the name of it. 680 City News, 680 City. There we go. I hate you.
Good evening. It's Saturday, October 30th. Here's what's making news. I'm Cherise Smealy. And I'm Michelle William. Here's what's making news this hour. Starting today, you'll need
Somebody just yelled in their earpiece. You're doing it wrong.
Or train, but there is a short grace period until November 29th. The FDA has approved Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for kids, and approval from Health Canada might be close.
Hey, remember, none of this shit's approved
Canada
yet.
has committed to donate 10 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine to the COVAX Vaccine Sharing Initiative.
That we got 86 million doses out
The
of.
TTC was the victim of a ransomware attack.
Good. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Leafs getting set to host the Red Wings Game 4 of the World Series, where the Braves already in front on Houston.
Do I vent about the TTC or do I listen to the...
And coming up in business,
There's going to be ponding. Tell me the Don Valley flooded and there's a whole fleet of Lamborghinis getting shit water up in the upholstery.
City News Time, 6:31. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Jasmine Graywall.
Thank you, Cherise. This report is brought to you by LL Bean. We are looking at volume starting off with the eastbound 401. Just as you approach Trafalgar, it's heavy going. It gets better, and then it picks up again from Winston Churchill to approaching Mavis. And then from the 427 to
Tell us about the jackknife sewage truck.
Collectors expect slowdowns. We're still
Bear in
looking at
mind, I
that
haven't been listening to this the
we're
last
still
couple
looking at
weeks.
a stalled vehicle that is adding to this volume. From Yonge and the Express, we do have a left lane currently blocked
I'm
off.
aware
And then
that
again, just as you
Canadian
approach Bayview
politics
to
is a
Leslie,
joke
both in
right
the
now.
Express and Collectors, it's slow going. And over on the east end from Morden to Kennedy and the Collectors, it's volume busy as well. And then again, just as you approach Salem, westbound of the 401, just as you approach the 412 to Salem, expect delays. And then again from McCallum to Warden, both in the Express to Collectors, it's slow going. And from the 404 to Avenue and the Collectors to and Express, it's heavy. And then again, just as you approach the 400, both in the Express to Collectors, it's busy just up until west of Dixon. And over in Mississauga Road, we're looking at delays. And then again from Winston Churchill to Trafalgar. Right now, if you are traveling southbound on the 400, just a heads up, expect delays approaching Shepherd to the 401. Southbound on the DVP from Vinch to approaching Eglinton, it's nonstop delays. Northbound on the DVP as well from Don Mills to York Mills, we're looking at on and off volume. Eastbound the QEW from Brown to Burloak, and then again, just as you approach Mississauga Road to Dixie. Now looking at the eastbound Gardner from Kipling to Strawn, we're looking at slowdowns both in the Express to Collectors, westbound the Gardner from Jarvis to Parkside. And if you are traveling right now, going westbound the QEW over in Oakville, expect delays from Trafalgar
I should have vented
to
about the
Goldline, and then
TTC.
again,
Boy.
approaching Guelph Line over in Brampton. Northbound on the 410, we're looking at slowdowns north
I got
of Steele to Williams
five
Parkway.
that need filled and 2 that need extracted.
Now come in more sizes and colors than ever. Comfy on the outside, cozy on the inside. Shop LL Bean at Oakville Place, Georgian Mall, and Barrie, and CF Shops at Don Mills. Next report, 641 with the forecast. It's Carl Lau.
You got more people lined up for a food bank than I ever seen
It's been
before.
down to an overnight low of 8 degrees with mainly cloudy conditions. For tomorrow, the wind
You're a
picks up
bastard.
with a westerly wind around 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. It's cloudy to start, some sun by the afternoon. 14 is the high, and then temperatures during the evening for trick-or-treating right around 10 to 12 degrees. Tonight's overnight low is 8.
Yes.
Right now downtown, we've got light.
If you ever think of moving to Canada, just remember, Halloween, you'll be wearing snowsuits.
City News Time, 6:34.
Oh, I wish I lived in a garage. I could run engines in here. I'm legally not allowed to run internal combustion engines in here or store them.
Plane or train for domestic destination. The new federal travel policy applies to anyone 12 and older. Transport Minister
Except for
Omar
military.
Al-Gabra says the policy is necessary for the safety of all travelers and travel employees.
With rigorous travel requirements that include mandatory vaccine measures, we are continuing to take action to help keep Canadians safe from COVID-19. In the transportation sector, this means rules are in place requiring travelers to be vaccinated in order to board planes, trains, or vessels.
Unless you own the plane, the train, or the vessel in
Through
question.
November 29th, when a negative result for a COVID-19 test will still get you on board. Exemptions to the policy will include for emergency or travel to and from.
This is the
very
same
remote
travel
communities.
industry.
And
By the way, it's
no
not transportation,
religious
it's travel.
reasons. But Al-Gabra says exemptions will
The
be
same
very
travel
rare, and he
industry
warns
that
you
needed
are-
billions
you
of
are
dollars of
fully
bailouts
vaccinated by the
last,
end of
what, this
November.
year, last
You
year?
will not be able to board a plane or train in Canada.
City News Time, 6:35. Now that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved Pfizer's COVID-19 shot for kids aged 5 to 12, many believe approval from Health Canada isn't far behind. But what do parents and experts think? City's Camille Wilson has more.
Health Canada is looking to approve the Pfizer vaccine for ages 5 to 11 after the U.S. FDA announced Friday that they are on board for administering to that age group. Dr. Gerald Evans, the chair of infectious diseases at Queen's University, says the effectivity of the vaccine for all is looked at before it receives its approval.
How effective is
not the safety.
Preventing COVID-19 in that.
That's funny because normally they check for safety, not efficacy. They've never checked flu shots for efficacy ever.
When you compare them to ones that didn't receive the vaccine, because these are done with placebo, so about half the group would get a placebo vaccine. In other words, something that's inert.
Yeah, we know all that. We don't care, but we don't need you to tell us how that works. You just didn't tell us anything just now.
Dr. Evans says kids have a stronger immune system response than adults. The City of Toronto is conducting a 15-question survey for parents on if they intend to vaccinate their younger kids and how they would like to see the rollout happen. This survey is open until November 7th. Camille Wilson, City News.
Prime Minister
you get to make decisions for other people that you'll never live long enough to see the consequences of.
Canada has committed to donating 10 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine to the COVAX vaccine sharing initiative. And Trudeau also announced they will donate $15 million to help make mRNA vaccines in Africa. Deputy PM Chrystia Freeland also touching on climate change, saying Canada
that won't build one factory. What are you going to do with $15 million?
Really move from broad, ambitious commitments, important as those are, to starting to get really
burning out my spliff
about the steps we're going to take to
just
get
a little piece.
The summit wraps up tomorrow. The investigation continues into a ransomware attack the TTC said was the victim of on Friday, and service is still being impacted. TTC spokesperson Stuart Green says staff and IT experts are still working to troubleshoot their systems, and this is why you cannot plan your trip online or on the app at the moment, because next vehicle information is unavailable. The transit agency says there is no risk.
That is not. Hold on.
Customer safety. Sanjana, a customer.
That is not something you can do a ransomware attack on. So that doesn't make sense.
It's not important. It's weekend. We know it's like 3 to 5 minutes, right? So not a big deal. Yeah, I know the monitors are not working. Yeah.
Internally, though, for the TTC,
in my neighborhood, they haven't worked in years. In fact, around here, they don't have them. But in Parkdale, for example, they don't work at all. They flash like strobes if you're in a dance club.
Their internal email service is down as well.
Told you.
City News Time, 6:38. Alec Baldwin has spoken publicly for the
so the TTC cannot communicate with the TTC right now across the board. Period.
Set of Rust,
think about that.
Friend and saying he's in constant contact with her grieving family. Baldwin spoke to photographers Saturday on a roadside in Vermont, where he called the film.
Prop guns don't shoot bullets. You can't mistake a blank for live ammunition. There's literally no excuse for any live ammunition to be on a movie set unless you got armed security. And that's all I'm going to listen to about that, because these people burned out my buzz.
But at the same time, recognize that that very work is essential to ensuring long-term sustainable jobs, not only in the resource sector, but right across the country.
Oh, the resource sector. You mean extracting stuff from the land that you don't own.
As Canada prepares for the UN Climate Summit in Glasgow, promising that it will meet
what about
its
China 2 weeks ago?
Eric Sorensen, Global News, Ottawa.
Is that what this is?
And Eric is guest hosting for Mercedes-Benz, and tomorrow you can catch his full interview with Dominic LeBlanc on the West Block right here on Global. Most world leaders are flying to Glasgow for COP26. Global aviation accounts for about 2.5% of the human contribution to carbon dioxide emissions. Those emissions created by the international air travel industry will not fall under any agreements reached at the summit to drastically reduce the amount of CO2. Redmond Shannon explains why and how airlines may not need to take any action for years to come.
Wait.
International flights make up the majority of commercial aircraft emissions, but they will not be on the table at the COP26 summit. Neither will international shipping nor military activities.
No, they won't be, because those are going to run no matter what, and you're not going to change them no matter what. So you exclude them from your fucking ideas.
Controversy about, how you would allocate those emissions to individual countries.
The UN's Civil Aviation Agency, ICAO, is instead coordinating a climate change scheme for international flights. Starting this year, airlines in the 88 participating countries, including Canada, are encouraged to make operational efficiencies, fly greener planes, or use biofuels. The idea is to prevent emissions from growing above 2019 levels. However, because of the pandemic, it could be years before airlines even get back to 2019 emission levels.
The 2019 baseline is in the order of about a gigaton of carbon dioxide. And so that's a tremendous amount of carbon dioxide. If that's what we're trying to get down to. And so if you have a sector that's not trying to reduce emissions, it's trying to reduce growing emissions. That was the real kicker.
George W. Bush's to buy carbon credits, such as tree planting schemes, the effects of which remain a challenge to accurately verify.
If you really want it to account for an offset, you have to keep that carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere for thousands of years, literally.
Under the scheme airlines only need to offset carbon growth, even though aircraft have additional greenhouse effects.
What I hope we see is we double back and we make sure that we're taking care of the contrails and the nitrogen oxide as well.
Small private jet operators could be exempt too. So in the absence of stronger policies and with truly carbon neutral air travel still a long way off, climate change activists insist the real power to reduce emissions lies very much with the individual by choosing to fly less. Redmond Shannon, Global News, London.
A phenomenon known as a king tide, brought on by climate change, is wreaking havoc on the U.S. East Coast. The powerful storm is producing record-breaking rain and heavy winds. As Jennifer Johnson reports, these extreme weather events are becoming the new norm.
Because they never had extreme weather.
It turned into rivers. Some drivers had to retreat to the roofs of their cars as floodwaters quickly rose. The slow-moving storm brought intense downpours for several hours from Virginia to New Jersey.
Dear YouTube, I'm trying to turn it off.
Up to 80
Please don't fuck up my account.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Kayakers paddled through flooded streets in downtown Annapolis.
I seen snowmobiles in Scarborough. Fuck off.
Meteorologists say the flooding was caused by astronomically high so-called king tides brought on by human-induced climate change. Unfortunately, this is becoming all too normal.
See the water lines?
Hold on. The tides are caused by gravity, not heat.
They're like, yeah, we're used to it. We do this. We move on, and we clean it up and start all over again.
You sound like the idiots that live in the beaches.
Business owners in parts of Virginia put out sandbags to protect their goods,
Why is this on our news?
The ground became so wet, huge trees in the U.S. Capitol came tumbling down.
Hold on, sandbags?
Some restaurants opened Friday, then had to quickly shut down.
Somebody was telling me they were out at
you want to be flooded, or you wouldn't keep doing the same thing every year.
As they were sitting on the dock eating.
The Potomac River rose so high, this man was actually fishing along the George Washington Parkway.
Did he have a license?
Flooding in some areas reached record-breaking levels, leaving D.C. meteorologist Bill Cairns to tweet, "Wild that this no-name storm will likely break the all-time highest water level ever recorded on the Delaware Bay." Experts say coastal cities and towns are seeing more and more major flooding from meager storm systems, another costly and dangerous result of climate change.
You still haven't explained
Global News,
how the tide was caused by
Manitoba's Progressive Conservative Party has chosen its new leader and the province's next premier. And for the first time, there will be a woman running the province.
Start sending as much bad data as you can. We don't care.
Welcome to the new PC party of Manitoba.
Speaking of PC.
Former Health Minister Heather Stephenson was victorious in today's leadership vote. She beat out another woman, former MP Shelley Glover, by fewer than 400 votes. The leadership race was called after Brian Powell's.
Okay, I had a whole diatribe about the PC party and this male-dominated politics. It's like Justin Trudeau making his cabinet exactly 50% men and 50% women. But it's just it's just a show. It doesn't mean anything. What did they do? They had two women duke it out for the top spot. Fuck.
Service by the morning. Still to come on City News 680. A look at your top stories in sports. City News Time 6:44.
Oh, and we had so last weekend, was it last weekend? Last week and the weekend before. Whenever the fucking full moon was, I think we're 2 weeks past that. So 13th. So 2 weeks ago, we had 10 shootings. 8 people shot, 4 of them died. And 2 of the shootings, they didn't locate anybody or anything. They just, people reported shootings. Welcome to Toronto. I'm sorry. I think I rotted out your brains with this shit here. So nobody can afford to ride trains anyway. There's no more Greyhound bus service in Canada, period. Let's see, the airlines needed billions. What was it, 5 billion or something like that in assistance to deal with because it's COVID-19's fault that the airlines don't make money. They've been going out of business since like 1990 onwards. They compete on things that you can't compete on, like who can borrow money slightly cheaper and who can overcharge the most for a salad and all that other shit. That's not real business. It's not arbitrage. That's just fucking ripping people off and shit. All these planes they're flying have exemptions and shit. You think there's all sorts of rules about planes? Like, the safety standards are a fucking joke. Consider the pilot is responsible for all work done on the plane. If he starts the plane and takes off, he's responsible for any. Yeah, but you've never heard of a pilot being held responsible when it comes to commercial airliners. I was going to call the city, and now I don't know if I care. Ah, shit, we ran a little too far. I wanted to hear the headlines. So that last thing I was running, that's you can literally go look for that on this site. It's that you're on right now. That's just the television news broadcast. And there will be no Beijing hour today. I don't know how you in your right mind could possibly consider putting a needle in someone else's arm that you don't know with no gloves on. And not using soap and water to wash your hands. I don't understand that. Do I want music or do I want something educational? Because I've got the we could put it on Okapi Radio.
You gotta read this.
Oh, I remember the hashtag.
So Twitter, it's like a man on Twitter. Just like a parrot child. Goddamn man. Yeah. Mama no shit, raised no Twitter. Just like a man on Twitter. Get my conscience like a parrot child. Get your damn hands up. Right, listen in. Teach you some discipline. The ABSTR. Yeah.
Wrote this rap while I was on the shitter. Follow me and get banned off Twitter.
My mother was infamous. We used to sell a pack of white girls. We called Dixie chicks. Straight progenitive for rap. It's indigenous. Like none of your rhymes is hard. I see the impotence. Told me I'm the best in the city, and I agree. And this ain't nothing new. This since AJ and Free. Since DMX and Eve. Suge Knight in 93. Recognize the legacy. They took my time with no clemency. Don't compare me to these niggas that got bitch tendencies. Riley shot the chef. Charlie shot the deputy. Put your boy in the box. It's like they got a penalty. Blue eyes and no blonde hair. You see the color shit. Call me motherfucker. Might have smoked the bitch on Mother's Day. Gang for the set. Nigga never have regrets. And never have remorse. But had work like it's choice. You niggas horse. Feeling like you up till we score. Bombing on them with my grenades and Jersey Shore. See me on the lake shore. Ride a 150 in the 60. So if I crash, oh God with me. Swear like none of you niggas is fucking with me. I was selling whip back when Bobby was fucking Whitney. We been posting guns since Kevin was fucking Britney. My words like AJ versus rolling 60s. Nipsey. Hustle my nigga like they ain't want you to. I told later sucker mom don't ask me who I'm talking to. Love it when they changing up their voice to make a mock of you. It's how you get your son snatched when he got his walk to school. It's that gangster music and nothing less. But so many shots at the barrel getting stressed. I read the shit so hard to see my life inside a blessed. And still I watch this game like a rap boy, don't even test. Like who was savage with this butchery? This devil was a bitch by a fire pit and I pushed her in. Nigga, I'm the best of these lyrics, you never took it in. But to resurrect the strategy to have you shook again. Again, I hope you needed, I hope you see it. She looking right and you read it. The children come and you feed it. Attitude, you can leave it. We did it all again, but slightly different. It's a remix. Girl, the fly is a G6. Keep me out your mentions. 40 cap, Glock 27. When it's licking it, dead him.
I got nothing to contribute. And anything I want to pull up. He's a fucking retarded. Some of the shit you guys say.
Yo, this is Young Lava. We love hip hop.
It's Brooks Bangetti, Genie, man. We love hip hop. It's a story about two brothers, Rob and Vic. They grew up in the world alone. God forgot about them. Forced to fend for themselves. Right. The story takes place. How many dicks did we get so far? I couldn't get it. Snap them up quick. If he scream, I'ma pull him out and heat to his face. I shut him up so I can take him out. When this thought, they got the cash just to make him out. Dead cool in his eyes without hearing. The money speak that explain the voices I've been hearing. You ain't really after him, all you move. I lie. And as I stick up tongue homicide. So that's the way our mama died. If you with me, I'ma smile. So we slid. Had to get our game plan together. Cause this little bit of stick up really lasted us forever. Desperate, on the edge with no place to go. We can't go back to the hood. We suck up everyone we know. For the love of money, people will rob from each other. For the love of money, people will steal from their mother. For